Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 14th of February 2025. In today's Mill news, we had confirmation this morning about when and what time the FA Cup game away at Crystal Palace was going to be. And this is from millfc.co.uk. It's Crystal Palace vs Mill to be shown live on BBC One. Mill's Emirates FA Cup 5th round tie at Crystal Palace will take place on Saturday, the 1st of March, kick-off at 12:15pm. So it's lunchtime kick-off on a Saturday. The London derby, in which the two sides will meet for a place in the quarter-finals, will be shown live on BBC One. The game in SE25 will represent the first fixture of this kind at the home of the Eagles since 2012. What does that mean? What does that mean? First fixture of this kind? In terms of what, FA Cup game? Or just like a big FA Cup game? I don't know. Tickets for the trip to Selhurst Park will go on sale soon. Keep an eye on millfc.co.uk for further announcements. So yeah, Mill haven't announced any selling details, and that is interesting. Why is that happening? Are we contesting how many tickets they're giving us? Do we want more? Have we appealed some kind of decision by the SAG? I don't know, because it is interesting that they have announced their own selling details. This is from cpfc.co.uk, which is the website of the football club named after an old building that burnt down, Crystal Palace FC. Tickets for Crystal Palace's home FA Cup match with Mill on sale to qualifying supporters, with season ticket holders now able to purchase their own seats. So their home game looks like it's going to be members only for them. But we do have the prices, and I believe these prices will apply to the Mill tickets as well. And they seem to be like a set price, which is not unusual. It's the FA Cup. They want to make the ticket prices, genuinely quite cheaper and simpler, shall we say, in terms of it's just one price, which I would imagine if you're at the end of the pitch and on the side of the pitch, you're getting a better view on the side of the pitch, but you're paying the same price as someone at the end of the pitch. I guess that's how it goes. So yeah, all I wanted really to show you was the price. It's £25. Obviously, and why that will be the same for Millwall fans is that ticket sales in the FA Cup is split. I believe it's 45% to the home team, 45% to the away team, and 10% to the FA. I believe that's the case. It was when I last read the rules a couple of years ago. And then they got just other nonsense for Crystal Palace fans to read. But there you go. Okay. So yeah, we don't know how many tickets we're going to get. We know what time the date and time of the match is going to be. So we just wait to see how many tickets they're going to be giving us. 15% of what their ground holds is around 3,900. So the reason for the delay, I would imagine, is that I would imagine that someone is complaining about how many tickets we're getting and they want us to get less. And I guess they will just say, well, the game is on TV. You can watch it on TV. There's why do you need to be there? And that's the kind of person who has no soul. So there you go. Probably a police inspector, I would imagine. Because this game is... because we progressed in the FA Cup, this game against Bristol City, which was due to take place on Saturday the 1st of March, has now been moved. And we have a date. They've already arranged a date. And that date is straight after that game. So new date arranged for Mill versus Bristol City. Millwall Sky Bet Championship fixture at home to Bristol City will now take place on Tuesday the 4th of March. So season ticket holder, would be interesting to, at the end of the season, to go back and look how many of our games got moved, either date-wise or time-wise. It's been a lot so far. So if you bought a season ticket, you were sold a pup. And obviously there's terms and conditions, and they'll say, oh, it's subject to change, but you buy a season ticket, but in the year 2025, you think the games are going to be on Saturday at 3 o'clock, or there are midweek games. When the fixtures come out, they tell you them. But then you get games moved to Saturday 12:30. You get like this game. Obviously, it's the FA Cup progression, so that is what it is. A game moved to midweek, and I imagine it's almost certain that the season tickets will go up next season. In fact, the MSC had a meeting, and I got the minutes that was put up earlier in the week. I keep forgetting to bring it up. I need to show you that in the video. Maybe on Sunday I'll show you that. So that'll be fun. Come back on Sunday. It seems almost certain that the season ticket prices will go up to some extent. Whether that's for everybody, whether that's just for the full paying adults, we wait to see. But you're paying more and you're getting the games moved around. So it would be interesting to see at the end of the season. Obviously, we got 23 games at home, 23 games away. How many of those 23 games were moved? But we have this. It's going to take place on Tuesday, the 4th of March. So at the earliest opportunity that they could, they set the game up. So that week, I had a look, we're going to be going away to Selhurst Park. We're going to be playing at home to Bristol City on the Tuesday. And then on the Saturday after that, we're going away to Watford. So, isn't that fun? Not really doing a lot of travelling. 2 away games in a week, sandwiched in the middle with a home game. And we're not really doing that much travelling, which is nice. So yeah. The tickets for this are on sale already. It was less than 3 weeks away, so there you go. Now, moving on to this interview, and here we go. So we've got an interview. I mentioned this midweek about the Plymouth game. Ivanovic has got a long-form interview in the South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk. So we know what that means. Tomorrow he's going to have a stinker. It is amazing. Mihailo Ivanovic, amazing exclusive interview as he talks about rapport with Millwall fans, idolising Mitrovic, and why price tag is a good pressure. Some players take time to build up rapport with a club's fan base, but some have an instant connection, which was the case with Mihailo Ivanovic after his transfer to Millwall in August. The striker had not even made his debut, which came as a 75th minute substitute in a 1-1 draw at QPR in late September before he had 2 chances. We've got a big fucking Serbian. And also another which ends with the warning, he's going to murder you. Ivanovic reacts with a beaming smile when asked about both. It is amazing, he told the South London Press. From the first game, I can only say thanks to them. They supported me, and they don't know how I was going to play and how I am as a person. Millwall Director of Football Steve Gallen pulled the trigger on the deal for Ivanovic at the end of the summer transfer window. The 20-year-old has scored 5 goals for the South London club, 4 of those goals in the Championship, including back-to-back winners at Luton and Portsmouth at the end of last month, which really kicked the Alex Neil reign into life. Ivanovic had been the Lions club record transfer fee until they swooped for Sparta Rotterdam winger Camille Negley in January. The Novi Sad, born forward, did not feel the weight of expectation after his SC16 switch from Vojvodina. They paid that much, I need to prove myself for them. It's not bad pressure, it's good pressure, you need to have some pressure to play. It's not good when I play without it. I am a calm person. I'm not panicking. There is still pressure now. Ivanovic is hoping he can take the championship by storm, just like compatriot Alexander Mitrovic. Mitrovic scored 85 goals in 126 championship matches and netted 111 times in 206 games for Fulham, twice winning promotion with them from the championship before a lucrative transfer to Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League in August 2023. Ivanovic has adopted Mitrovic's trademark hand-to-here goal celebration every time he hits the back of the net in England. Oh, him and Abramovich were my idols from a young age, said Ivanovic. He has done a great job and inspired me. I love him. So when I come to England, I started doing that celebration. It just feels right to do. I don't know why. He played here and I'm playing here now, and I just trying to do the things he did. We speak when we are with the national team. He gives me tips because he played in the Championship and also the Premier League. He was in London. He also gives me advice about the city, where to go and where not to go. He is a good person. Ivanovic had a season-long loan with Sampdoria, a deal which started in August 2022, including an option to buy. But he only made a solitary appearance for the Genoa-based outfit before returning to Vojvodina, signing a new 3-year contract. I made one appearance against Napoli away. I was playing for their youth team and I was on the bench against Inter as well. Then the club went into Serie B and he had financial problems and they let all the players go. I wanted to stay, but it was not bad to come back to Vojvodina because I knew I would get play and some confidence for my future career. Italy and England were for sure two countries I wanted to play in. Italy because of the life and England because of the football. At 10 years old was when I was first thought I want to be a professional footballer and I want to do this my whole life. My whole life. Ivanovic started as a right winger at Vojvodina before moving up front at the age of 14. He scored 10 goals in 48 first-team outings, and that included a taste of European football. UEFA Conference League qualifiers against NK Maribor shortly before his transfer to England. There were rumours, but I couldn't say when I was going to leave. They told me after we finished the European matches that we'd sit and talk about everything, and I heard about Millwall, and I didn't think too much. To be honest, I just came. They told me there are a lot of Millwall supporters in Belgrade and Novi Sad. I also went one time to a bar in Belgrade, and there were Millwall scarves in there. I heard about the rivalry between Millwall and West Ham. I saw this movie. Have you seen it? It's Green Street. Very good movie, very good. I think I came for the medicals on the 29th of August, and the 31st we signed. The Den is an amazing stadium. There's a video from when I was getting shown around. It's crazy how good it looks. Very good. Ivanovic has shown composure when it comes to converting his chances, typified by his first goal in a Millwall shirt and a 1-1 home draw against Derby County. He raced through from the halfway line, taking 3 touches with his right foot, going past goalkeeper Jakob Zetterstrom before converting with his left. When I am running with the ball, I just know what I'm going to do. At Vojvodina, I made some mistakes. I'd be thinking, what shall I do? What shall I do? Now I just have one idea, and I will do it. If I miss, I miss. But there are less chances of me missing if I think about the one thing. My favourite so far was against Blackburn. Blackburn in the 96th minute. 1-0. The beauty one is against Luton, but the important one is against Blackburn. Ivanovic, who grew up supporting Manchester United like his father and brother, has targets for the season, but he's tight-lipped at least for the moment. One person from the club knows. We will see if I'm going to reach it this season. I will say when I reach it. So there you go, from interview with Ivanovic, Mihailo Ivanovic. And we also have, obviously, now that we've had a long interview on the day before the game, he's probably going to get sent off or some crazy shit like that tomorrow. But now we have this interview about the youth. This is from southernnews.co.uk. There is a really good pathway on Millwall Under-18's coach on how Romain Esse's record sale and Alex Neil's trust in youth has benefited the academy. Alex Neil's willingness to play youth and Romain Esse's club record sale to Crystal Palace has shown academy players and potential recruits there is a really good pathway to the first team, according to the coach who helped produce the £14.5 million rated star. Neil has been out at the heart of Mill's youth revolution, handing 17-year-old Sheldon Kendall his debut, trusting 20-year-old forward Rahis Bangor-Williams with 4 consecutive starts only a few weeks after his debut, and starting a youthful front four in Lions' 2-0 win against league leaders Leeds United, including Luke Condell, 22, Camille Negley, 23, Mihailo Ivanovic, 20, and Femi Aziz, 23. He's been ably supported by the board, who signed 8 players in the January window, all of whom are 25 or younger. They include potential stars in AJ Matthews, Benicia Baker, Lions Academy product returning Zach Lovelace, and first-team contributors in Negley, Condell, Tristan Crammer, Aaron Conley, and Loney Zach Sturge. The Lions were able to splash the cash because of their record sale of Esse to the Eagles earlier in the window, who snapped up the Lions Academy product for a club record haul of £14.5 million. And under-18s coach Larry McAvoy, who worked with Esse during his formative teenage years, said the sale was brilliant for his players. Romain's been with us since the foundation phase, since under 9s, McAvoy told News at 10. He's one who came all the way through. So to see someone command a club record fee and move into the Premier League, and who's been with us from the foundation phase and through the youth development and professional phases, a really proud time for the moment for the academy. Not just for the under-18 staff who worked with Romain for the last 2 years, but also all the other coaches who spent a lot of time with him. It's brilliant for the younger players, and he'll be like a role model now. We've had good players, but to get someone that higher profile and selling them for that sort of fee is brilliant. It's a testament to the work that's been done in the academy. The younger players now in our academy can look up to him and try and emulate what he's done so far. Romain is a local lad from Deptford, living half a mile away from the Den, and someone who's been with us from the age of 9. We've got players from all different backgrounds, so for them to see someone who looks like them, who's maybe from the same area, it's really helpful for us. I would say in terms of recruitment, but also in terms of retention of the really good players we've got in the academy at the moment, in the younger age groups. But it's like anything, not just in football, in any sport. You need a role model, you need someone that the younger players can aspire to be like. And at the moment, Romain's been a great one in terms of money for the club. That's brilliant. And it's great at the top end, and they've been able to bring players in, I'm sure. But for us in the academy, it's in terms of what we're trying to do, is we need that and we need more of it. Esse's journey from joining the Lions at the under-9s level to joining the Premier League side at age 19 has just shown youth players and potential recruits that there is a pathway to minutes throughout the academy, no matter how old they are. We're really strong in terms of playing younger players when we think they're ready, and we give them the opportunity, McAvoy said. The under-21s have been really successful over the last 3-4 years, similar to the 18s. They're not always the oldest team when they go on the pitch, and certainly not the under-18s either. We beat Brentford 3-1 last Saturday, a Premier League side with half a team of schoolboys and a 14-year-old player. So we're really big in terms of it. If they're good enough, they're old enough, and we'll give them the opportunity to play. So we think someone like Romain, if he was maybe a Category 1 club as a scholar, he probably might not have played much in his first year. But with us players, we don't carry a lot of players, and the opportunity is there to play a lot of games. So I think that's a really good model in terms of how we operate. Jacob has been offered a pro contract, and Jacob's been with us for 4 or 5 years, and that's a really good one for him. He's been to Poland training camps, England training camps. He's had time at the under-21s. Harry Taylor's played a lot of games for the under-21s. George Beaumont's played a lot of games for the under-21s, and a lot of our second years have played a lot of minutes for the under-21s, and they've stepped up really well. Everyone's doing well. Everyone knows if they do well enough, there's an opportunity to progress. Within our model, there has to be a pathway if they're good enough, and we don't just carry loads of players to be really strong every week. We need the spaces to be there if the players are good enough. So players are playing up. Under 16s are playing up in the under 18s. Under 19s are playing in the under 21s, and under 21 players like Rahis are getting opportunities in the first team. So there's a really good pathway, and at the minute we're really lucky with the first team manager who's not shy to put young players in if he thinks they're ready. McAvoy thinks players like Lovelace, who turned down a contract extension at Rangers to return to South East London, are more likely to join the club because of the pathway. Old Zach played for me as an under 15 and under 16, McAvoy said. Even at that age group, he was good enough to play in the youth team. I worked with Zach a lot, and it was a shame to see him go. And he's had his reasons for that, but one of the big things he said about coming back was that he felt there was a pathway now, better than ever before. So that was pleasing to hear, really pleasing to see him back. We lost Romain, but then Zach comes back, and it's really nice to see old faces, boys that have come through the academy. Zach's got a really bright future as well, and he just needs an opportunity to play, and we're really pleased to have him back. So, interview there with joint under-18 manager. There's two of them, Larry McAvoy. Interestingly, he mentions a couple of times if they're good enough, and that is a thing that has seen recently over the years, if they are good enough. Because was shocked last season at some of the under-18s who, from what I see, obviously I don't see them week in, week out. I see them playing the FA Youth Cup. See a couple of them who played well in those games get released at the end of the year. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then you see, because of obviously at that age, that's when the teams in the Premier League, they start, they cut players. They let players go. So then Mill will have an opportunity to pick up these players to make the team better. And they are doing that, So if you're out in the Millwall youth ranks, under 15, under 16, under 17, under 18, it's not just about being the best player in the team. You're competing with players outside of the team as well, to make that next step up to the under 18s, to the under 21s. And there is a standard. See, these coaches and managers, they know what the standard is. It's kind of hard to explain, but I would imagine they know it when they see it. You know what I mean? So you are competing for that. It's not just you were the best player last season in the under 16s, so you're going to get promoted to the under 18s. Whoa. Are you good enough for the under 18s? Because there's other players that are being released that can come in and take your place. So it is law of the jungle. It is a competition. It is very, very tough. Now, we should probably start talking about this game that we've got coming up tomorrow. Oh, another one? Yep. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. They've got a quote from the manager. Obviously, they do their press conferences on Thursdays, don't they? So they got this quote from Tony Mowbray, who was out sick and he's come back to West Brom. So West Brom boss expects fired up Millwall side following convincing Plymouth defeat. West Brom boss Tony Mowbray has stated he expects an exciting game as his side visits Den for their championship clash tomorrow. The Lions entered the match after a 5-1 humbling at the hands of Plymouth Argyle, who are dead last in the championship going into the game. The onus is on Alex Neil's men to recover from that embarrassing result if they want to continue pushing forward towards the playoff challenge that seemed to be forming before the defeat. The Baggies are in the mixed pocket form themselves despite being sixth in the table, picking up recent wins against Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday in between losses to Plymouth and Blackburn. We should look forward to the Millwall game, Moby told West Brom's YouTube. I feel as if we can dominate just about every game in this division with the quality of the players we've got. It's just about finding the answers of putting the ball in the net and what type of goals we're going to score. Millwall will be smarting from getting beaten at Plymouth quite convincingly, so we know what's coming and we have to expect a team full of fire in their bellies, which we'll have to find as well. And it will be some encounter, I'm sure. Well, I certainly do hope so, because there wasn't any fire in the bellies on Wednesday, was there? Not really. Except for Femi Aziz when he came on. And Connolly had a bit of a go, but other than that, I mean, fucking hell. Let's hope we get something tomorrow. Just a decent performance will do me, even if it's like a narrow defeat or a draw. I mean, come on. Now, message board. We have the Millwall message board from millwallfc.co.uk, because it's obviously a home game. Another edition of the Millwall message board is here. Below are the entries sent into millwallfc.co.uk ahead of Saturday's Sky Bet Championship encounter against West Bromwich Albion. Kick-off at 3 p.m. Happy 11th birthday to Henry. Who's the one on the left? Happy 11th birthday. Happy 70th birthday. Wishing you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all the things that make you happiest. Here's to many more years of love, adventure, and good health. And no name on that, so I guess if that's you and it's your 70th birthday, there you go. Remembering Cara Penny, who travelled the country supporting Millwall and passed away 10 years ago today. I love Ian, Cyan, Liam and Declan. So there you go. And if you want to appear in a message board for future home games, get in touch at slo@millwallfc.co.uk. Now, this game is a funny old game. Indeed it is. Indeed it is, Greavesy. Wow. Just had a bit of a flashback there. Just seen the first thing that popped up was this game here. 5-1 defeat. No, not again. This is a list of games between Millwall and West Bromwich Albion, sorted so that it's Millwall home games first. And this is from 11v11.com. It's their head-to-head. First ever game in 1924 was an FA Cup game, 12th of Jan, so that would have been quite early in the rounds. We lost 1-0. Not many defeats that we've had against West Brom. In fact, what was that? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 defeats. 5 defeats, and 2 of them were pre-war. One of them was just after the war. So yeah. Defeat on 3rd of December 1938, a 5-1 defeat. A defeat in October 1946, 2-1 defeat. But other than that, I mean, we haven't played them that many times, really. 46, 48, then the gap to 1974. Clearly, we won in the same division. I would imagine they would have been in the top division at the time for quite a few years. 74, played them 2 times in 74. So they must have spent 2 seasons down in Division 2. And then we played them in 1983 in the League Cup. Win that one 3-0. 86 in the Full Members Cup. And then we're back in the same league in 1987, April 1987. That's 1-0 defeat. And then there's quite a few wins. 4-1 win 1990. 2-1 win 1993. 2016 2-0 in the Football League Trophy. Until we get to more recently, the most recent game was this one here last time out, March 2024, a 1-1 draw. Before that, October 2022, a 2-1 win. And before that, January 2022, a 2-0 win. So the last time we lost at home to them was February 2020. Little did we know, that was before we knew. That would have been what? A couple of weeks before? Or maybe a week before. The whole world came crumbling down in February 2020. We lost that game. But I mean, we haven't played them. 2 takeaways. We haven't played them that many times, and we haven't lost that many times. So there you go. In terms of what we're on. So the game is going to be on the 15th of February. And if you look here, if we go through games in February, we've got this one on the 9th of February that we lost. This one on the 19th of February that we won 1-0. Any more? This one on the 28th of February that we drew 1-1. That's about it. So there you go. So let's get on to this. This is from whoscored.com, as you see here. Last 6 games, we've just shown you, but this is weird. This can't be a coincidence, surely. Last 6 games between Millwall and West Brom at Millwall, they've had 4 red cards. 4 in 3 games. That is quite an achievement. How did they do that? In those 6 games, we've only scored 8 goals. They've only scored 5. So yeah, that is. It's been 3 wins for us, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. And this is how it is at the minute in the table. They seem to be a team that is at the top and won't go down. They can't be overtaken, despite their patchy and inconsistent form, because they don't lose games. They've only lost 7 games all season. They are clinging on to 6th place. If we expand the table and have a little look-see, you can see we're 14th. Has this been updated today? Yeah, because QPR won today. They beat Derby 4-0. So obviously we can't go above them, but we will have a game in hand on them. But if we win, obviously we're chasing these 2 teams here. Blackburn, whose manager has just quit, which is bizarre, because they're in 5th and he's quit them to go to the team in 22nd place. So again, this league is a basket case, and this is quite typical season of basket caseness. You've got these 4 teams that are miles above anyone else. There's a gap between 4th and 5th of, what is that? I don't know. Was it about 16 points? Something like that. I don't know. I can't do the math. You do the maths. The goal difference is insane. Plus 21 for Sunderland, plus 6 for Blackburn, plus 11 for West Brom. So these 4 teams are clearly the best teams in the league. And everyone else is just scrambling for these 2 places. But these teams have been holding on and holding on and holding on. And you can see, in the terms of case of Blackburn, it's because they don't draw. So they either win or they lose. They've won 14, they've lost 12, and only drawn 6. Whereas with West Brom, they don't lose. They've only lost 7, which is, again, outside of these teams, the top 4 teams is the best in the division. They have the fewest defeats outside of the top 4 teams. The only problem is they've drawn 14, which is the most in the division. So they are just clinging on with these bizarre results that have proliferated throughout the season so far for them. And you've got all these other teams at the back who can't get up there. They're queuing up. We're all queuing up to try and get up. We put ourselves in the frame with these 3 wins. We got up to here and then we back down here. Coventry win. Look at these 4 wins in a row. Then they lost. Oh, and then they won again. But even with the 4 wins in a row, they're just up to 10th. You got Middlesbrough, who were up here. They've lost 3 in a row. They're down. Absolute basket case of a league. So yeah. What are we doing again? Oh yeah, we're playing tomorrow. So if we win, we get 43. So we could go. Obviously, we can only go up 1 place really. I mean, and that's only if Watford don't win. But we do, even though that we do, close the gap between us and West Brom by 4 points. And this is who we're aiming at. We're not aiming at Watford. We're not aiming at Norwich. We're not aiming at Queen's Park Rangers. We're aiming at West Brom and Blackburn. And we get to play one of them tomorrow. We're playing West Brom. So a win would be good. But as we've seen, they have the most draws of any team in the league. So, they're 6 in the table. They've won 11, drawn 14, lost 6. They've scored 41 goals. They've only conceded 30. They are one of the teams in the division that has a defence better than ours. Obviously, conceding 5 goals the other day didn't help that, because we're now in negative goal difference on minus 11. If we go to the home form, Obviously, we're at home. We've won 7, drawn 3, lost 6, scoring 18, conceding 14. West Brom's away form. They are 6th best away team in the division, which is insane because their record is nearly as worse as ours. In terms of they played one more game than us, they played 16 away games. They've won 4, drawn 7, and lost 5. So if we win our next away game, we will have as good a record away as them. But they are 6th in the division. They are the 6th best away team in the division so far. And we are 13th. And as you can see, they haven't won away in their last 6 away games. In fact, if we go back to this, and if we go down, this is a list of the last 6 home games for Millwall and the last 6 away games for West Brom. West Brom, as we've said, haven't won a game. They lost to Plymouth, just like we did. They lost 2-1 away at Plymouth. If that was a night game, probably because of the floodlights. They lost away at Middlesbrough, 2-0. They failed to score, which is the only away game on this list that they failed to score in. They lost in the FA Cup away to Bournemouth. Okay, 5-1. Premier League team. They drew at Swansea. They drew at Sheffield United, 1-1. And they lost away at Derby, 2-1 on Boxing Day. Okay, well, it's Boxing Day. In fact, we'll get on to that in a minute. I want to check something. But we go to Millwall. Obviously, last game, QPR at home, 1-2-1. Seems like ages ago now. It was only 14 days ago. Before that, it was a 2-2 with Cardiff, which we should have won. That defeat to Hull, which was very poor. Very, very poor. And before that, the FA Cup game that we won 3-0. And then on New Year's Day, Alex Neil's first game in charge, was it? 1-0 defeat to Gary Rout's Oxford. So, failed to score against Oxford, failed to score against Hull. Only kept a clean sheet against Dagenham and Blackburn. Last 3 home games, we haven't kept a clean sheet. We conceded 1 against Hull, 2 against Cardiff, and 1 against Queen's Park Rangers. So, that was interesting. Here's the strengths and weaknesses. We have a lot more weaknesses than they do, but we also have a few more strengths. Here's the style of play. Now, I wanted to check something. If we go on to this, and then this, and then click on away games, when is the last time they actually won away? They won away at Hull in November, and that was 10 games ago. They haven't won in 9 away games. They have not won in 9 away games. But, they do know how to score. The only two since that game against Hull that they won 2-1, they have only gone away and failed to score in 2 games. Interestingly, they were both in the North East. Sunderland away, a 0-0 draw. Middlesbrough away, a 2-0 defeat. Every other away game since then, they have scored in, but they haven't won. Wow. So this is a team that is in 6th position. They are still in 6th position. They've been struggling, holding on. And they haven't won in 10 away games. But they are still in 6. This league is batshit crazy. How is that possible? How is it possible? Well, probably because of their home form, if we look at that. Yeah, I mean, look at that. They've won, 5 out of 7 away games, home games. Man. So let's move on to the prediction from whoscored.com. If we go down, see, are they coming back yet? Is Josh Coburn going to come back? Maybe. Is there going to be a load of changes made? I don't know. Like, does he drop the goalkeeper? Does he need to drop the goalkeeper? I don't know. Wasn't really the goalkeeper's fault, but I mean, you concede 5 goals. I mean, what do you do? Just as Millwall looked to be building momentum, Alex Neil's side were humbled in midweek. The London club were hammered 5-1 on the road by Plymouth side buoyed by a FA Cup victory over Premier League leaders Liverpool. The Lions have drawn each of their last 4 championship matches against West Brom. So obviously that includes home and away games as well. West Brom were unable to beat a managerless Blackburn side on Wednesday night, losing 2-0 after McTair Gay bagged a 16-minute brace. That result was a blow to the Baggies' playoff hopes. Tony and Roby's side have now lost 3 of their last 5 championship matches and sit just 2 points clear of Bristol City in 7th. So that they are on a slide, but they've been on a slide for a while and they're still there. They're still in that 6th spot. Is the slide going to continue, or is it going to change? As we've just shown, they haven't won away in 10 games. You know what that means? That's ringing the alarm bells for me. They say Millwall 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. But when you get these records that go on and on and on, obviously they haven't won away in 10 games. They've got to win away sometime. It could be tomorrow. If not, then it's going to be they haven't won it away in 11 games, in 12 games, in 30. How long is it going to go on for? Because 10 games is a bloody long time without winning an away game. So this is fearful. Plus, if you look at this, they can score goals. They've got Maja, who's got 12 goals. They've got Fellows, who's got 11 assists. And if you look up here, our best rated players remain SA 7.06. He ain't here no more. He's gone. He's gone off. Tanganga 7.05 and Brian Leonard 7.02. So 2 of those 3 are no longer around. One's injured out for the rest of the season, and one's gone to the Premier League. We've got still to this day, Duncan Watmore is still the top scorer. He hasn't scored since September. Ivanovic, as we've just seen, he's just done an interview with the South London Press, so he's not going to score tomorrow. SA's still up there with 4 goals. These are our top scorers. Femi Aziz got 4 assists. Do you start him or do you bring him off as impact? Because if he can't play, obviously don't manage his minutes, come back from injury. Do you start him and just go at him, or do you want him to come off in case we need a bit of magic? I don't know. But then look at this, RBW. He's got 3 assists. Why has he been dropped? Because he's young? Right? He hasn't even put a foot wrong. The guy can tackle, and he's got vision, and he can pass. And he's got the most Cinderella story of them all. In that he got rejected by club after club after club after club. Decides to go, okay, fuck this then, I'm going to go to Tooting and Mitcham and just play football anywhere, somewhere. Goes there, plays well, gets picked up. Still goes out on trials, gets rejected, and goes on a trial at Millwall that lasts for 2 months. And even they're like, do we want to sign this guy? End up signing him, and look, he gets these opportunities, grabbing it with both hands. And you like, bruh, if you ask the guy to run through a brick wall, he'll run through the brick wall. Why is he not playing? I don't understand it. Hopefully he starts tomorrow at RBW, but then, we'll see. We will see. So they say 1-1. Move on to the prediction from Sportsmole. They go on and on about some stuff as well. What are we on? We're on 45 minutes, so I'm just going to skip all this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to skip it. You can, if you want to pause it and read it, you can pause it and read it. If you don't, go to sportsmole.co.uk, go to the Millwall page, it'll be on there. They say Millwall 1, West Brom 1. After a sobering evening in Plymouth, Millwall are likely to go back to basics as they seek a positive result against West Brom on Saturday afternoon. The Baggies will be boosted by Ajayi in defence for the battle at the Den, and we feel that the visitors should be good enough for a point in the capital. I would say that a lot of these teams, you often find that, when we beat a team that we're not supposed to beat, if their manager's in a bit of trouble, you often find that he gets fired after we beat them, because that's the cherry on the top. That's just straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of people in football don't think we're a good team. They don't think we're very good. They think we're dross. So I would imagine that probably Tony Mowbray and West Brom, they probably think the same. And I would imagine they're looking at the fact that they ain't won an away game in 10 games. And they're looking at this on the calendar and they're going, you know what, boys? This is the one. This is the one we're going to win. And I don't know. That Plymouth result it's a spanner in the works. It's a gremlin. I don't know what to make of it. It was, again, you wouldn't have seen it on the television. You had to be there. But the way that Connolly and Crammer were playing, that they were told to play by Alex Neil, and then you had the centre-back splitting and Denor dropping in, kind of weird. Obviously, told to do like that, told to pass it around, told to do all this stuff, and it's not how we've been playing. So he's trying to do something. But why would you try to do something in your longest away game of the season? You would probably try and experiment at home, I would imagine. And then I guess, well, if you do it at home and you fuck up, you got most of the ground on your back. If you're doing it in an away game, especially one that's far away, you got about 500 fans. So you got 500 fans on your back. So I guess probably that's why you experiment so far away from home. But I mean, let's stop with the experiments and let's get back to doing what we do. Let's hope that that's the case. Now that we're at home, Alex Neil's gonna knock the experiments on the head and just go with what we go with, do what we do. If that's the case, but I want to see RBW in the team, whether that's at the expense of Kundal or Negley, I don't care. I think RBW needs to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Roberts in goal. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I can see either way, either. You're gonna have some big balls if you're gonna pull that move. I'm not saying Alex Neil doesn't, but I mean, it's a big call to make. If it happens, it happens. I'm not even way really. I think when Jensen was fit and he came back, I think he should have spent that game on the bench, just because. Even though he's saying he's fit and he's okay now, just to be sure, we'll keep him on the bench for this game, and we'll bring you in for the next one. Especially as I believe there was one league game, then we had the cup game. So to bring him in for that league game and then take him back out for the cup game when you had Roberts in, didn't really make any sense. Just let him come back in, easily, ease him back in. But, he brought him straight back in, and it is what it is. But, who else? Aziz, like I said, if he can't do 90 minutes, what do you do? Do you start him and hope that he impacts the game, that you go a couple of goals up, and then you have to take him off? And then who's on the bench? And then I guess you bring Negley on, and then that might, because Negley's not slow. He's slower than Aziz, I think, but he's not, he can run with the ball. So if there is a thing, in terms of we have to defend and we want to catch them on the break. If you take Aziz off and bring Negley on, or even if you change the formation and you go a bit more defensive. The thing with Kramer at right back was that obviously that kind of got exposed against Plymouth. Do you bring Harding in? Because Harding was pretty good against Leeds. So you bring him in. Have someone who's a bit more seasoned in that position. Didn't really do that badly against Leeds. I don't know. We wait to see. Obviously, it's okay playing against certain teams with makeshift defenders, but West Brom, with the players that they've got. So again, I don't know what to make of the result, and I don't know what to make previewing tomorrow's game, but I would say that I would probably agree with these two websites and say it's going to be 1-1. And that's probably going to be 1-1 to us, if that makes any sense. But I could see it being 2-1 to West Brom, to be honest. Will not surprise me at all. Especially as, the fact that they haven't won in 10 away games, and they'll clearly see this as a chance to rectify that. The fact that they've drawn so many games. If we're drawing at 60 minutes, who is any of us going to go for it? Are we going to go for it? Are they going to go for it? If we're drawing at 75 minutes, is it going to be one of those where the game gets decided in the first half, and in the second half the two managers are too fucking pussy to try and go for the win? I don't know, but I'll probably go 1-1 as well. I'm going to go Millwall 1, West Brom 1, but again, would not surprise me if it's 2-1 to them. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.